How did all of the mess with you and Jermall start from the beginning? How did all of that start?
Wow! David Benavidez goes into details on how he put hands on Jermall Charlo and Jermall Charlo hid behind his bodyguards. Before we get into this next video, make sure that y'all hit my like button and sub to the channel if you haven't already subscribed to the channel.
How did all of the mess with you and Jermall start from the beginning? How did all of that start?
So the way it started is, it was like about a year and a half ago. I was in Big Bear and I heard, I had never had a problem with him. I'd always seen him and I would say what's up to him. Even when I fought the Cowboy Stadium, after the fight, him and his brother came up to me and said, "Man, you're a great fighter, this and that." So I'd always had respect for them because they're some fighters I like to watch. They knock people out, so I had respected that. So in numerous occasions, we'd say what's up to each other, and I seen him in Mexico too, and we were talking. Everything was cool. But then I seen the interview when we were in Mexico saying that he was gonna come up to 168, and he said, that he would fight, he would love a fight with me. But that's all he said. He wasn't being disrespectful. He wasn't saying. He said he would love a fight with me. And then I had did an interview, and I'm like, yeah, I would love to fight Charlo. I mean, both of our styles, we would have a great fight. It would definitely be a brawl. And then he did an interview with somebody else. I guess he got tired of people asking him about it. He said that he would knock me the fuck out, this and that. So I'm like, all right, this is the route we're going. I'm like, all right, cool. So I just started talking shit. I was saying I'll knock him the fuck out too. And then he said after one of my fights, I thought it was gonna happen when I fought Ronald Ellis. He said that he was gonna break my neck, that he'd knock me the fuck out. That I'm a little kid. I'm like, all right, cool. So I started talking. I let him have it. I was talking shit, and then just back and forth, back and forth. And then that's when he started. That's when I seen too that he wasn't really trying to make that fight, because he started saying like a lot of odd things, like I needed to be over 20. This is at the time I was 24. He's like, he's not fighting nobody under 25. He's not fighting nobody that's vaccinated, this and that. So I turned 25. I got vaccinated. I got vaccinated just for him so we could fight. And then he's just saying a lot of like weird shit. And then that's when I really just started talking shit. Like, man, I don't understand. You making me waste my time. I'm talking shit because I think this fight's gonna happen, and you don't even want to like fight. Now you're saying all this other shit. And then that's when I seen him on this past Saturday. I knew I was gonna see him. So I knew it was gonna be like that. But he wasn't even supposed to be in that section where I was at, because they called me like, you know what, we don't want nothing to happen in the Cowboy Stadium. If a fight happened, the owner, that looks bad on our company, so we don't want you guys to be next to each other, and we don't want you guys to do anything. I'm like, I mean, I really don't care. I mean, if they want to keep it professional, I'll keep it professional. If they want to do something else, then we could do whatever. And I seen him while sitting next to Luis Espinosa, and I see him from this side, and he keeps making his way over here, and he's saying hi to somebody over there, and he comes over here, and then he comes next to Luis Espinosa, but he acts like he don't see me. I mean, I'm sure he see me. I was sitting right next to Luis Espinosa, and then I was like locked eyes with him. Well, I didn't lock eyes with him. I was just like looking at him. I was trying to dog him and stuff, and then he goes over there to like by where my dad's sitting, and he starts talking shit to my dad, like yelling at my dad. So I'm like, I'm not gonna let that happen. And I get up and I walk. He's like in an aisle right here, and I'm in the first aisle right here. And I walk up to him and I push him. And I told him, "What's up?" And I told him, "What's up? What do you want to do?" And then he hops behind his two security guards, and then he starts getting tough. He starts talking shit. But I honestly, bro, it was. I think there were. He looked super drunk, bro. Honestly, he looked like he couldn't even stand or whatever. But I mean, I'm a nice dude, bro. But I'm not gonna let nobody talk to me like that. I'm not gonna let nobody talk to my dad like that. And it's whatever happens. I'm a fighter. He's a fighter. So I mean, I'm not gonna shy away from no fight in or out the ring. And a lot of people don't like that. But what do you think happens? What do you think? What do you think happens when two fighters talk shit to each other and confront each other? They're gonna fight. So, I mean, I'm just happy that it didn't escalate more to that. But if it would have, I mean, it is what it is. I'm ready for whatever.
Did you feel like it was a situation to where like he started popping off because he had a lot of people with him?
That's definitely when it was, bro, because when I was face to face with him, there's a little video you can see on YouTube that I push him, and then he didn't say shit. The first thing he did, he backstepped and he went behind his security guard. Like, if he's that hard, why couldn't he tell me face to face right there? We could have. So he didn't even tell me nothing until he got behind his bodyguards, man. I'm like, that shit.
So what he was telling your dad? What was he telling Jose?
He was telling my dad that he was broke. Just like weird shit like that. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, he's broke, this and that. I'm like, man, what the fuck is that? Even if we're broke or we got money, that's irrelevant, bro. What does that have to do with boxing? And my dad kept telling him to get the fight, and then he kept calling my dad a pussy, this and that. So I mean, it's just.
So did your dad ever talk to Al or anything to try to make the fight?
I talked to Al and to Luis, and I told him I want that fight to happen. The reason this fight's not happening is because of him. I remember when I fought Ronald Ellis before the fight, I'm like, when we're going back and forth, I'm like, this is the fight I want. Make this fight happen, please. And I told him, like, I don't understand why you guys wouldn't make it happen. It makes sense on both sides. It's a big fight. We don't like each other. The press tour could be crazy. We could go both going at it. It would get a lot of views or whatever. It could possibly be pay-per-view. Like, why wouldn't we do it? We could, and I told him too, why not make that fight with Charlo and me versus with an interim title, and that would make it even bigger. And they're like, all right, well, we're gonna talk to him. We'll see what's up. But he don't want to take that fight. Mm-hmm. That's the reason the fight's not happening, because he doesn't want to take it. He talks a big game. He talks all this shit, but we know what it is at the end.
Yeah, see, my thing, David, is because I know the whole timeline from when he first, mentioned you, and then when he went on, I think it was Brian Custer when he said he was gonna break your neck and all of that, because he talked about you and Caleb Plant in that interview. So after that, it was like, okay, well, you said all of this. And in that same interview, he talked about, he said something like, oh, y'all don't even know how big I really am. Like, if I'll move up to 168 and I'll be even stronger at 168. So I'm like, okay, he finna move up. And then after that, when you start pressing the issue, I don't know if he thought that you wasn't gonna hear it, or I don't know what it was. But when you started pressing him, he was like, oh, y'all know I ain't a 168-pound fighter. And it's like, now he don't want to move up for you, but he willing to move up for Canelo. And it's like, didn't you say that you were going to move up to 168 pounds and you will be stronger at 168? So that's what threw me off. And then you see Mike Tyson, he caught it. Everybody seen it. So how did it make you feel when Mike Tyson pressed him on the issue and called you the boogeyman? How did that make you feel, Mike Tyson being the legend that he is?
It made me feel really good, man. It gave me even more motivation, to get called a monster by somebody that was a monster in his day. And it just makes me feel really good. I have a lot of the support from a lot of old world champions. So it just makes me work even harder and all that. And like I said, what Charlo said that too. I mean, it just, like I'm saying, he says a lot of shit that don't make sense. He said he's really gonna he'll be strong at 168. Then he said that, oh no, I'm small for 168. I'm even small for 160. And then he says that I should be a cruiserweight, or I should really be fighting a heavyweight. Like, what the fuck? Like, all this like run around this shit. It shit just really don't make no sense, man. Like, I feel like he says a lot of shit, and because he punks a lot of people, that he thinks that he's gonna do that to me. And I told him, I'm with whatever, man. You're not gonna punk me. And I pulled his card already, bro. And now he's just acting crazy. He's acting like a fool.